Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. My name is Diananta Putri, and I will be moderator for today. So we are from Group 10. We will explain about licensing in business, and I will introduce the group member. First is myself, Diananta Putri. And next is Mutiara Afifah Nabila, and next is Julianda Fajar Pratama, and next Ilda Hidayati, and for the last is Disa Azahra. And topic one is about licensing regulatory issue. We will be explained by Ilda Hidayati. To Ilda Hidayati, time is yours.
Thank you, moderator. I will explain about licensing regulatory issues. Before starting a business, it's not just about having a great idea or enough capital. One of the most crucial aspects is ensuring legal compliance, and that's where licensing comes. However, the process is often more complicated than expected. Definition of licensing regulatory issues is refer to the challenge or problems related to obtaining permits and complying with government regulation that individual or business must follow to operate legally. The purpose of licensing regulation is to protect consumers from unsafe product or service, to ensure quality and safety standard in business operation, to prevent illegal or unethical business practices, to maintain fair competition among business, and the last one is to regulate environmental, social, and health impacts. Next, types of licenses and regulation is business licensee. Number one is business identification number atau NIB, trading licenses, and location and environmental permits. Industry-specific licenses, BPOM, Indonesian FDA for foods and cosmetic, Ministry of Health permits for medical device, and OJK permits for financial service. And international trade regulation is export-import certification, SNE or ISO standard, and custom duties and tax. Next. Common licensing issues. A is bureaucratic complexity, complicated procedures, and inconsistent rules between agencies. Number two is regulatory change. Frequent updates can disrupt business planning. Number three is lack of awareness. Many small businesses are unaware of the licensing they need. And the last one is overlapping just restriction, conflict between central and regional regulation. Strategies to overcome licensing issues is the first one is consult legal expert before starting a business, attend regulatory training or seminars, hire licensing consultant when you need it, maintain open communication with regulatory bodies, and the last one is the use the OSS or online single submission system to simplify licensing producer. So even tough licensing may seem complicated, it's actually a critical foundation for running a safe, trustworthy, and legally secure business. Thank you. Back to moderator.
Okay, thank you, Ilda, for the explanation. Next material about trading business licensee will be explained by Julianda. To Julianda, time is yours.
Okay, everyone, I will explain the material about the trading business license or SYUP. First, for definition, the trading business license or surat izin usaha perdagangan or SYUP is a mandatory permit for every company or business entity engaged in trading activities in Indonesia. It serves as legal proof that your business in the trading sector is recognized by the government. So that is purpose and function of the SYUP. First, for legalized commercial activities. Two, to administrative requirement for business operations, financing, and tenders. Three, provides legal protection to the business owner. Four, support orderly business management. Next, So why is SYUP is important? First, for legality, demonstrates that your business operates legally and legitimately. 2. For trust, enhance trust from business partners, customers, and other relevant parties. 3. Access to opportunities, often a requirement to participate in tenders, collaborations with large companies and loan applications. And next, there are types of SYUP based on business scale. 1. There are micro SYUP, 2. Small SYUP, 3. Medium SYUP, and 4. Large SYUP. Last, types of financial institution offering license. First, there are commercial banks. 2. There are rural banks or bank Perkreditan Rakyat (BPR). 3. Financing companies or leasing. 4. Insurance companies. 5. Pension funds. 6. Savings and loans cooperative. 7. Fintechs depending on the type of service. Thank you. I back to the moderator.
Okay, thank you, Anda, for the explanation. And the next material is about financing institution licensing. It will be explained by Mutiara Afifah. To Mutiara Afifah, time is yours.
Thank you, moderator. Financing institution licensing. Definition: financing institution licensing. This is the process where financial institutions like banks, fintech companies, and insurance firms option of official permission to operate. This licensing is essential because it ensures that these institutions meet specific standard and regulation. The main goals are to protect customers, ensure the stability of the financial system, and build public trust in financial service. Licensing authorities. The first one, OJK, Financial Service Authority. This organization oversees all financial institutions in Indonesia, ensuring the comply with regulation. It plays a crucial role in maintaining the integrity of the financial system. And next, Bank Indonesia, responsible for the payment system in our country. It ensures that transactions are secure and efficient. And last, cooperative. They have specific rules of cooperative institutions that must be followed, promoting fairness and transparency among members. Next slide. Institutions that require licensing. The first one, bank and rural banks, financial companies, saving and loan cooperative, and fintech lending. And importance of licensing. The first one, financial stability. It's help ensure that institutions operate stably and responsible, reducing the risk of financial crisis. Next, customer protection. It's guarantees that customers are protected from unfair practices. And last, regulatory oversight. It makes it ensure for the government to monitor financial institutions and ensure they follow the rules. Next slide. Example, BRI, Bank Rakyat Indonesia, a commercial bank licensed by OJK, known for its extensive reach and service to the community. Adira Finance, Shopee Pay, and e-wallet that is also licensed, offering a convenient payment solution for enable online shopping. Muala, a fintech offering lending and e-wallet insurance, catering to the growing digital economy, and last Prudential, a registered insurance company that provides various insurance products, ensuring financial security for its client. Okay, that's all from me. Back to moderator.
Okay, thank you for Mutiara Aifa Nabila. And next is licensing in the field of industry. It will be explained by me. So, licensing in the field of industry refers to the permits required to conduct business in certain industry sectors. Each industry has different characteristics and regulation, and therefore licensing requirements also vary. The important aspect of licensing in the field of industry first is specialized regulation. Each industry sector, such as manufacturing, construction, and energy, might have strict regulation to ensure safety, health, and environmental protection. And for the example, the food industry must comply with food safety and standards. Number two is licensing process. The process to obtain a license often involves filling documents, inspection, and meeting certain standards. For the example, construction company may need to show that they have adequate insurance and meet work safety standards. Number three is compliance and monitoring. After obtaining a license, company must continue to comply with applicable regulation. The government or relevant authority may conduct periodic audit or applicable regulation or inspection to ensure compliance. And the benefits is having a valid license give confidence to customer and business partner. It also protect the company from legal sanction and helps in making investment decision. Next slide. Types of licensing. First is patent licensing. It's permission to use patented technology. Number two is trademark licensing, permission to use two specific trademarks. Number three is copyright licensing, permission to use artistic works and creative content. And licensing process. First is negotiation, discussion between the licensor and the party seeking permission. This includes terms and conditions of use. Number two is contract, an unofficial document that, unlike the licensing agreement, including the rights and obligation of each party. Number three is monitoring, oversight to ensure that the use of the license complies with the agreed upon terms. And challenge of the license in the field of industry. The first is infringement, the risk that others might violate the licensing terms. Number two is legal complexity. Understanding and complying with applicable regulation can be complicated. Number three is competition. The emergence of competitor might affect the value and sustainability of the license. And that's all for me. Next material about tax on stamp duty or bea materai. It explained by Disa Azara. To Disa Azara, time is yours.
Okay, thank you so much to moderator. I would like to explain about tax on stamp duty or bea materai. Stamp duty is a tax on document imposed once for each document, aims to provide legal force and become a source of state revenue. While it may seem like a simple administrative step, stamp duty plays a critical legal and fiscal role. Its two main purposes are: first, to provide a legal validity to documents so they can be used to evidence in court. Second is to serve as a source of national revenue, especially from legal and commercial transactions. According to Article 3 of Law Number 10 of 2020, stamp duty is required for the following. First is civil document, such as licensing, agreement involving trademarks, patents, franchises, or know-how. Second is statement, contract, receipt over a certain value, and other commercial document. And the last one is any document intended to be used as a legal evidence in court proceeding. This document must be affixed with a valid stamp duty to be considered legally binding. Seal affixation. Payment and affixation can be done via traditional adhesive stamp or electronic stamp or e-materai as regulated by Ministry of Finance Regulation. Article 5 of the same law sets a flat stamp duty rate of 10,000 rupiah per document. This simplifies the previous tiered system. There are two ways to pay this tax. First is traditional adhesive stamp, a physical stamp affixed to the document, and the second is electronic stamp or e-materai, a digital stamp applied to electronic document. The use of e-materai is regulated under Ministry of Finance Regulation number 4 of 2021 and is especially relevant in digital transaction or electronically signed contracts. Why stamp duty is important? Applying the correct stamp duty is crucial for enforceability. Without it, a document such as licensing agreement may be deemed invalid in court, meaning it cannot be used to assert or defend legal rights. For example, if a company signs a franchise agreement without applying stamp duty and a dispute arises, the court may reject the document as evidence, placing the company in vulnerable legal position. Stamp duty ensures that legal and commercial documents are recognized by the legal system. In the digital age, the introduction of e-stamp provides a more efficient way to remain compliant. Ensuring that every important document is properly stamped is not only a matter of tax compliance, but also a step forward protecting legal rights and reducing risk in business. That's all for me. I'll give it back to the moderator.
Okay, thank you, Disa Azahra. So that's the end of the explanation from our group about licensing in business. Sorry if there are any mistake, and thank you for attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.